Today's channel sponsor is brought to you by Curiosity Stream.
If you're a fan of nature and animals, Curiosity Stream has thousands of these streamable documentaries for you to watch, ranging from stuff like lizards, insects, monkeys, different sorts of animals, and a lot more. You can stream to any device for your viewing anytime or anywhere. I really enjoy the David Attenborough series for learning about different kinds of animals and nature. Curiosity Stream has a really good deal going now. By using code NIGHT, you can sign up for an entire year just for $14.99 for unlimited streaming access. So go check it out. Thanks Curiosity Stream for the channel sponsor.
What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're a full lizard Pokemon team. This team is gonna be all about lizards. So I picked out the 6 most lizard-like Pokemon I could and put them on one team. Now, I don't know a lot about lizards, but I do know the fact, right, is when obviously they try and escape their prey, they can actually detach their tail and it sort of like wiggles and stuff, and that's how they get away. It's really cool. If you do want to check me out on Twitch, make sure you do, people. This right, do all my live streams, take all my battles, loads of entertainment, and loads of salt. Now, the first battle here, I'm not really sure what my opponent's name is. Maybe someone in the comment section can help me out there. This is the one I had on the YCOM probably about an hour or two ago, right? So we got an Archeops lead here, and I've got my Sceptile, a bulky Sceptile. Max health, max defense. Let me give you a load of this set, right? We've got a Track, Grassy Terrain, Leech Seed, and Giga Drain. Now, Archeops is a very, very scary Pokemon. There wasn't much I could swap into, so I basically just had to face the music, and it's going to take me out there with a dual wing beat. I did take it very well, though. I know, like, I'm not joking, right? Because normally one dual wing beat, like one would have taken a normal Sceptile out there. As I see, it's also got the Life Orb too. So we're going to go into Toxtricity now. This is a Shift Gear, Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, and Wild Charge set. Physical set, max speed, and max attack. Now, I thought this would either cause them to swap or cause them to Dynamax there, because I've got the Air Balloon, they won't be able to go for a ground type move. However, it's sort of resulted in my opponent going for a Dynamax Archeops. Now, Archeops, if you don't know, is a very, very powerful physical attacker. It's got good speed. One of the only bad things about it is its ability to defeat us, right? But the thing is, you got to actually do some damage to it, and it just absolutely destroys you. When you look at my team as the battle goes on, right, you'll be able to see that I didn't have much to swap in because my whole team actually wasn't very bulky at all, right? So my Toxtricity is going to go down there, unfortunately, and I'm in a very, very bad position. Now, one of the only Pokemon I've got on my team to outspeed this is my Inteleon here. So it's like, okay, we're rolling the physical Inteleon with Focus Energy, Scope Lens, Liquidation, Icicle Sphere, and Fell Stinger. Now, there's no way I can actually go for any of these moves outside of G-Max, right? So I've got to go for the G-Max here, and I've got to take this thing out ASAP, right? So I've got to go for my G-Max move here to try and take out the Archeops. Otherwise, I'm done, right? This is pretty much my only chance. The rest of my team is going to get absolutely destroyed there. So what I did, right, is I got up on my little tower there. I got my sniper out, and you know, Archeops, it's in range, people. It's in range. I'm gonna take aim in a second. Here we go. Here we go. Got it in aim, right? Firing off the big water pistol, and Archeops is gonna go down in one shot. Man, I'm so lucky I had this on my team. Archeops is very, very scary. I actually really like Archeops. It's a cool Pokemon. Now, that is down. That's a threat out the way there, but I did actually lose 2 of my Pokemon. Like, I lost 2 quite important Pokemon there. Now, the next Pokemon to come in is Umbreon, right? Sorry, so I mean Scumbreon. Now, I will say this. The opponent's team was very competitive too. It was not memes or anything like that. It was straight up sweat. So we got the Umbreon. It does a yawn to me, right? So I'm like, okay. What's the worst that could possibly happen is, you know, I do some damage to Umbreon, and he goes down, and he may have Protect, it may not. Maybe they're just trying to force me to swap. But I'm in G-Max now, I'm thinking, let's just go for another, you know, attacking move and see what it's got, right? So Umbreon is going to go for Protect. It's got Protect and Yawn. So I'm like, okay, it's got Protect and Yawn. I'd say it's probably got Wish, and it's probably got something like Payback or Foul Play, right? So go for another Sniper on the Umbreon. Obviously, it's not going to do very much damage, and Inteleon is going to be out of G-Max. But there wasn't a lot of point to me swapping there, and there's also a chance I can wake up from the yawn as well. And Umbreon doesn't have a lot of presence about it. It might just be able to heal itself, and then, you know, I might be able to go for a Focus Energy and try and take it out that way, right? So Inteleon at the moment is asleep. Oh yeah, its little eyes are asleep. It's like the little, like, sort of like invisible, transparent eyelids there. So we got the Wish coming from the Umbreon. Totally never saw that one coming. And the Sandstorm is going to subside there. So I'm like, okay, hopefully I can wake up soon. This turn I can go for a Focus Energy that I can start spamming. You know, I could spam Liquidation. I may even get a Fell Stinger KO, right? That'll be absolutely wonderful there. So I'm going to be asleep this turn, and now Umbreon is going to have Foul Play. They were lucky I was running a physical set because Foul Play did a lot more damage to Inteleon than it normally would, right? So Umbreon is going to have most of its health back here. Now, there's no hope for me going for Focus Energy and getting that crit 100% chance up there with the Scope Lens. So I was like, let's just go for the Liquidation. And unfortunately, I sleep for 3 turns, which is pretty unlucky. Like, usually when you fall asleep in a Pokemon battle, you look at 1 to 2 turns, right? When you have 3 turns of sleep, it's fairly unlucky, right? Usually you wake up in the first, probably about the second turn you'll wake up. So things are once again looking very nasty. We're going to go into Charmeleon here. I've got to trap this in with my Toxic Fire Spin set with Rest. Now I knew they'd go for a Yawn, 1,000,000%, right? So I was like, okay, let's go for Toxic. I know the Umbreon's possibly going to have Synchronize, right? Sorry, Synchronize. I do miss the move Synchronize though. And then I'll kick in, that'll poison my Charmeleon, and I won't be able to obviously be affected by Yawn. That's if it's got Synchronize, and it did, right? It could also have Inner Focus, but I was definitely thinking it had Synchronize, right? So Charmeleon is going to be poisoned. Doesn't matter, right? Because I've got Rest, and they don't know that at the moment, right? So I can actually trap in this Umbreon with Fire Spin. Unfortunately, they are going to swap here, and they are going to be going into another Pokemon, which I can't really do a lot to, which is Dragovish. So as you can see, this team was very, very sweaty, and I was hanging on by a thread to try and stay in this game, right? So at this stage, it's like, okay, what do I do? Do I go into Helios or Dry Skin, right? Which is on my team as well. Are they going to predict that, or do I just keep the Charmeleon in and, hope they go for a different move expecting to swap? So I decided to stay in there, and it was too hard to swap to go into Helios there. Way, way too risky. So Charmeleon is going to go down. I've only taken 1 Pokemon out at the moment. This is a tough team. Okay, we've got the Helios now. It's my only chance here. I can either go for the Thunder Paralyze or go for a Hype Voice with Throat Spray. Max speed, max special attack, Throat Spray, Rain Dance to make it 100% accuracy with the Thunder, and of course give that Weather Ball water typing. So go for the Thunder there. It doesn't miss, thank goodness. I didn't think this would take Dragovish out, and it didn't, but it did a very good amount of damage. They went for the scummiest Ren there. I've got the Dry Skin, and I'm going to go ahead and assume their choice banded, right? So we're going to go for a Hyper Voice here. Obviously, they didn't want to swap, and Dragovish is going to go down there. So that was very, very good. If I didn't have Dry Skin then, I was absolutely done like a dinner. So I've got +1 in special attack now, and a reasonably fast Pokemon with a pretty good special attack. So in comes this. Obviously, the Thundurus wants me to go for a Thunder so they can get a Volt Absorb. That one is not happening, and Hyper Voice does very, very good damage here. It's a clean 2-hit KO. Here comes a Dank Pulse there. Does absolutely nothing to me. It's a 3-hit KO. Going for that Hyper Voice there, and the Thundurus is going to go down. So I'm starting to, slowly claw my way back into this game there somehow. Helios coming through. Next Pokemon here is Scumbria. I was like, okay, Scumbria. I think this will hit probably, I reckon, a 2-hit KO with Thunder, right? So going for that Thunder on the Umbreon, it's definitely a 2-hit KO, and I get a critical hit there. I'm like, okay, it could have possibly been a 3-hit KO. This is a heavy, heavy investment, definitely in health and maybe on the special side then. So the Umbreon is going to go for a Yawn. I'm thinking right here, they're either going to go for an attacking move just to get rid of Helios, or they're going to go for, a Protect and maybe try and go for a Wish. So I decided to swap Helios out there. I was like, you know what? I'll go into Salazzle. If they go for a Foul Play or, a Wish, it is what it is, right? Let's see what's going to happen here. So I've got the physical Salazzle. They went for the Foul Play there on my Salazzle. Unfortunately, I'm running a physical set, though, which is once again very lucky for them. And that's going to do quite a bit of damage to my Salazzle. The only good thing about it, right, is the Umbreon is on a low amount of health, and I do have a super effective move to use against it, right? So we've got Fire Lash, Dragon Dance, Poison Jab, and Leech Life. I've got max speed and max attack here with Adamant Nature. Went for the Leech Life here, and that was probably just enough to take out the Umbreon there. Plus, it's going to give me a little bit of sustain on the moves, right? Now, one of their Pokemon had a priority move that it always pretty much uses, so I knew that I could definitely live that one with that little bit of extra health that I got from, the Umbreon there. So the next Pokemon is Urshifu here. I know that I can't take Urshifu out with a physical Salazzle meme, so I went for the Poison Jab. Does pretty good damage, even with the Life Orb there. It's kind of underwhelming, but it's alright. Here comes the Close Combat from the Urshifu there, and Salazzle is going to go down. So since I went for Close Combat, that makes you think maybe they expected a swap, or they're just choice right. They obviously don't want to get rid of my Helios too. So down goes Salazzle there. I've got my Helios left. If I can land a Thunder here, I should still be in the game, right? Hyper Voice, I don't think is definitely going to take it out, so let's go for the Thunder. Thunder is indeed going to land on the Urshifu. I outspeed it, and Urshifu is down. It's a very, very close battle at the moment, folks, and a very, very sweaty team too. So the next Pokemon here to come out is Scizor. Remember I was talking about how I wanted a little bit of health left on my Slazzle there for the Bullet Punch. Unfortunately there, my Helios is going to miss the Thunder, and it's going to go for Super Power and take my Helios out. But man, their team was absolutely stacked there, and they just scraped the win. I feel like if my Inteleon woke up maybe a turn earlier, things might have been a little bit different, but GG's there anyway. It was very cool to see how much that team stood up very well to such big threats there. Okay, the next battle, this one was also on the Wycombe. This was against Ryan. And once again, if you do ever battle me on the Wycombe in some of these videos, right, just let me know in the comment section. I always like to see if I battle some of my opponents, right? So we got an Aurorus lead here. Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can set up against this, maybe I can't. It's going to be really, really risky. It's either going to have Earth Power, or they're going to just do some other sort of like type of move, or like Ancient Power, something like that. So I went for a very risky, overconfident Dragon Anti, and then had Earth Power. Like, okay, Slazzle's down. Nothing much I could have done there. I took a very, very risky play. Most people would have swapped out there, so I thought maybe I'll do something unpredictable and stay in there. But it is what it is, right? That's Pokemon sometimes. So we're going to go into Inteleon here. I definitely knew that I could get a swap there on Aurorus, which I did, right? Now, Aurorus is going to be swapping into Galvantula. So like, okay, this is good. This is fine. So go for that Focus Energy on the swap there. So we've got the Focus Energy plus the Scope Lens. I now have a 100% critical hit ratio. And if Galvantula did have a Focus Sash, it's now gone due to the hail, right? So outspeeding the Galvantula, they're going for the Liquidation, and Galvantula is going to get dropped in one shot there. So very, very good getting rid of that Pokemon. You know what? It's not so bad that I lost Slazzle. Like, I was happy to get rid of Galvantula. That would have been a problem Pokemon, you know, against my team, right? Next Pokemon here is Crobat. I was like, Crobat possibly is going to be able to outspeed me here. It's going to be going for a Brave Bird. I was like, I might just be able to live this, and I do on 13 health, which is very good. And what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to stick up my finger and fire some little icicles right out of it there. Obviously, it's a critical hit, so I only needed 2 of them to take out the Crobat, which is very, very good. So Inteleon is popping off right now, which is awesome, right? Now, I don't think I'm going to go for G-Max here. I've only got a little bit of health left, right? So maybe I can go for maybe my Toxtricity, right? I usually try to G-Max my Inteleon or my Toxtricity, right, for this theme. So in comes the Cinderace. This was very, very funny, right? So they're going to go for a G-Max Cinderace here. I was like, okay, G-Max Cinderace. This will hit very, very hard against a Cinderace still, right? I know that I can drop Cinderace, and I was thinking maybe they've got Sucker Punch too, but they didn't use Sucker Punch, they G-Max. I'm like, okay, this is fine. You know, I'm going to be able to outspeed this, right? Because I know I've got one more point in, you know, my speed than a Cinderace. Then they went for the Max Guard there, so I'm like, okay, that's fine, because you know what? The Hail's ending this turn. So I think they miscalculated the amount of turns left on the Hail, and thought, okay, well, the hail just faded out the Inteleon. It didn't happen. The hail stopped, and Cinderace gets absolutely dropped there by 100% critical hit Liquidation. So they are in a lot of trouble now. This Inteleon is absolutely destroying their team. Like it's taken out Galvantula, Crobat, and now we've taken out Cinderace. That's 3 Pokemon, like a mini sweep here. So here comes the Aurorus again. I thought they might bring this back in, you know, to get the hail rolling. So whether they're going to stay or not was another question. I was like, maybe they'll just sack it off. Maybe they'll go into another one of their Pokemon. So I was so close to going for an Icicle Sphere that turn. I decided, let's just go for Liquidation, because even if they do go into Goodra, it'll do a good amount of damage, if you know what I mean. So getting that crit there on the Goodra, Gooey's going to kick in, but it doesn't matter, right? Inteleon is going to fade due to the hail damage. So I'm fine with that. Inteleon did an absolutely wonderful job there, taking out 3 Pokemon, and 3 very threatening Pokemon, I may add as well. So I've only lost 2 now. Things are looking very, very good. We're going to go into Helios. It's like, okay, I can make use of Weather Ball because it's hailing, right? Let's go for that Icy Weather Ball, people. So that's going to get boosted up to, obviously, double base power. And Goodra is so thick. It manages to live that. That definitely was Assault Vested, like 1,000,000%, and it's going to take me out with the Earthquake there. So good play there. That is my Helios down. Goodra is almost down. So I thought, this is like deja vu, but the opponent this time is going to go down to the hail the next turn. Let's see if I can do what the opponent couldn't, right? So we're going to bait them and go into Charmeleon, do a double swap out, and go into Toxtricity. Now, there's no way they would have known that I had Air Balloon, right? So I was very lucky that I didn't actually show Toxtricity early on, because I may have been able to predict that movement there. And I get the free swap in, and Goodra goes down to the hail. So Air Balloon was a very nice swap in there for the predictable Earthquake. So that's down. Next Pokemon is Decidueye, and all that's left is Decidueye and the Aurorus. Now, I wasn't too keen on versing Decidueye right now, because none of my moves were going to do, like, super lots of damage, right? So here comes the Spirit Shackle here against my Charmeleon. I thought I might be able to trap this in with Toxic and Fire Spin, right? And I take Spirit Shackle pretty well. I was actually pretty happy with the damage there, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I can probably just live one more really, really badly, get the rest off, and then start the, Sleep Talk rest cycle. Now, interestingly enough, right, Decidueye is outsped by Charmeleon. I'm like, what? Like, how is that outsped? That's super weird. Now the Decidueye's going to go for a knockoff here, and it's going to knock off my Everlights. I'm like, is this a bulky Decidueye? That's like, kind of interesting, right? So my Everlight is gone there. I'm going to be hoping to get maybe a Toxic or a Fire Spin. One of those two moves, right? Probably Fire Spin will do better in the short term, and Toxic will do better in the long run, right? So getting Toxic off, at least it wasn't rest, right? Like Sleep Talk rest isn't, this never happened to me before, right? So Decidueye is going to be poisoned here. It's going to be obviously going for another attacking move. This time it goes for a Brave Burst. Like, that's actually not bad, right? Because that's going to do recoil damage. So Charmeleon still lives there. I think that the max health is definitely helping me out too. Now, I think this Decidueye is possibly I definitely think it's like max health, and I think it's got some like EVs in like defense or special defense, because it definitely isn't max attack, because I should have gone down there. So unfortunately for me, I am going to get a Sleep Talk, and I hit rest, which sucked, and I'm going to be going down to a Spirit Shackle here. But that's all good. Charmeleon did its role there. Now I can possibly swap in one of my other Pokemon to try and deal with this, right? So I'm thinking here, maybe the bulky defensive Sceptile can come into use here. I could, burn up their health with Brave Bird, set the grassy terrain up, and maybe try and take out the Aurorus, right, with the Giga Drain. So I knew that I was going to outspeed the Decidueye here. Obviously, my Charmeleon did, so easily, can my Sceptile, right? So getting it up, I've got max health, max defense, and I've got Bold Nature. Here comes the predictable Brave Bird. Maybe I thought, this will be an easy KO, and Sceptile lives that one pretty well right there. So the Decidueye is going to take some recoil damage there. I am going to get some more health back from the grassy terrain, as is the Decidueye. So I'm thinking, okay, we got the grassy terrain up on the field here. We got some toxic damage. Hopefully this will be enough to take out Decidueye with the Giga Drain, and then Decidueye eats a berry. I'm not very pleased about that. So it's going to get some health back with a Wiki Berry. So there's no way here that I'll be able to take Decidueye out with the Giga Drain. And in fact, that still would have lived there if it didn't have a berry. I mean, it would have fainted this turn still, but man, that really, really sucked. So here comes another Brave Bird here from the Decidueye, and I am down to one more Pokemon here. So that berry really messed me up there. I definitely thought that Sceptile could have beaten it either way, right? Even if it went down to toxic damage, right? So I've got one more chance here. I've got to be able to get a Shift Gear up, because what I want to do against the Aurorus, right, is I'm thinking if I can get a Shift Gear up, I can go for G-Max, and then I can go for Max Knuckle on the Aurorus. That's my plan anyway, right? So in fact here, I've got my Air Balloon, right, but I have to go for Shift Gear, just in case there, because, its attack isn't that great, and it's not super, super powerful, right? So I want to make sure I can definitely one-shot the Aurorus, right? I know that I can take a Spirit Shackle from this, unless it's a critical hit, which I thought, well, I weighed it up and I thought, well, it's a pretty good chance that it won't happen, right? So it didn't happen. Now my Air Balloon has been popped. I'm going to get a little bit of health back there from the grassy terrain, man. I could even go for a Max Guard and get some more, like, a round of health back as well if I really wanted to, right? So Decidueye is going to be going down to the Toxia. There was no real point in attacking there. I may as well get, like, a free status move, right? So the last Pokemon we got here is the Aurorus, and of course the Hail is going to come back here, and, that's not really going to change the battle too much. I do need to one-shot Aurorus, though. And I need to take advantage of all the super effective moves that a Strong gets. So since it's Ice and Rock Ride, I'm going to be able to have a 4-time super effective move. And I just want to triply make sure that I can take it out in one shot there. And I knew that I could lift the Shift Gear. So everything was very, very good there. So I'm going to play with my nipples for a little bit there. And now I can go for a Max Knuckle and take out the Aurorus in one shot. And that, my friends, is the second battle there. I mean, looking at that, there was a little bit of comeback from the opponent there. But mainly Inteleon pretty much won me this game, taking so many Pokemon out there at the start of the battle there, man. Thank you for the battle, Ryan, whoever that was. If you did ever see this video, GG's. Hope you had fun battling my meme teams. And let's get on to the third and final battle. We got 3 battles today. This one was against Marvin. So Marvin, I believe, was on a YCOM as well. So Marvin, if you ever see this battle, GG's and stuff like that. Okay, so we got a pink shark as the lead here, and I've got my Sceptile. I was like, all right, this is not bad. I can go for a Giga Drain here. However, I'm thinking they're going to be swapping out, so maybe I should go for a Leech Seed instead. So in comes Incineroar here, and it's going to be another shiny Incineroar. Man, I see this Pokemon so often. I mean, it's such a good Pokemon, right? So probably they'll think I was going to go for a Leaf Blade there, and I went for Grassy Terrain. Now, I could have actually got, you know what? I could have actually had a special set and had Focus Blast in this, right? That would have been actually a really good, swap in for that if I did have that. Just thinking if I was running a special set. So Incineroar's going to be swapping at it, which is such a weird swap, like really, really weird. I went for their track there, and it's not going to work on the Persian. Now, that to me was a very, very strange swap there. Very, very strange. I've got no idea why they would have swapped. In fact, this one could have been done on my stream, so I still don't know why they swapped there. But anyway, the Persian will come in, and it's going to go for a Gunk Shot there. How does Persian learn Gunk Shot? Tell me how it learns Gunk Shot. That doesn't even make sense at all. So Sceptile tanks it like an absolute unit here. Plus, we got the Grassy Terrain on the field, which is going to benefit my Giga Drain as well. So here comes another Gunk Shot there. Any other Sceptile would have gone down to this Persian any day of the week, right? And since I've got this bulky Sceptile, it's able to take out the Persian with 2 Giga Drains and tank 2 Gunk Shots, which is pretty impressive, right? Now, the item on Sceptile, I forgot to say, it is the Terrain Extender to extend out that grassy terrain, right? So I've taken one Pokemon, so things are pretty good. And out comes the Noivern. Actually, not a bad looking shiny, I have to admit. I haven't seen one of these for a while. So here comes the Boomburst. Is this Boomburst Throat Spray? Something like that, right? That's probably what I've seen. And they didn't take me out just due to me having max health, I guess, right? So getting a Leech Seed up on the Noivern there. It wasn't a Throat Spray there either, right? I actually wouldn't mind using Noivern. I haven't used that for quite a long time. So I'll be looking to maybe use this in some of my upcoming teams, right? So regardless there, we got a little bit of health back from the Leech Seed. Here comes the second Boomburst. I didn't really want to swap out here. Sceptile did its job there. I pretty much got the opponent to show 4 Pokemon, and I took one out and did a little bit of damage to Noivern, right? And I got to reveal some of their sets. So now we're going to go into the Inteleon here. Noivern is going to be swapping out, and Lickitung is going to be coming in. I was like, oh no, it's probably going to be like a silly bulky set that's going to take like a million years to take out there. So go for the Ice Sphere, and it got a crit. So actually, that was really, really lucky. So getting the crit totally off my scope lens, which is nice. As you can see there, the next one's without a crit. Man, look at that damage. It's absolutely horrible there. So Lickitung is going to get some health back due to the grassy terrain there. And I'm going to swap Inteleon out. This is not a good matchup, right? So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to go into Salazzle, see if I can set up with a D-Dance and maybe the Fire Lash, right, to drop this thing's defense. However, I'm not going to get a chance because it's going to go for a Dragon. Wait, was that Dragon Tail its tongue? Like, its tongue came out, but it was a tail? On your opinion, Shadow. So we're going to bring in the, actually, I can't bring it in. I got forced to bring it in my Charmeleon. So it's like, okay, there's only one way to deal with this, right? If it doesn't have rest, which I don't really know at the moment, I can actually take it out with a Toxic. Then I can trap it in with a Fire Spin. Maybe they'll get a Dragon Tail up, sure, but it will be pretty badly injured by the time they know what I'm doing, right? So Aqua Tail is going to miss, which is very good there. I'm actually quite confident I would have been able to take like 1 or 2 of them, right? Depending on the EVs, of course. Fire Spin is going to miss there, unfortunately, and here comes the next Aqua Tail. It's like, okay, pretty good damage there. This Lickitung does seem to have a little bit of investment in attack, and I definitely got some in bulk. Like I'd say it's like max health, right? So Lickitung is going to be swapping out there, right? And Sharpedo is going to be coming. It's like, okay, Sharpedo. I went for the Fire Spin this time. So if it had a Focus Sash, well, it doesn't have a Focus Sash now, right? So getting out that Fire Spin on Sharpedo, there's not a lot I want to swap in here. Like Salazzle can't swap in, Charmeleon can't swap in. I don't have my bulky Sceptile anymore, so I pretty much just have to let them take it out. So bye-bye Charmeleon there, right? And they also had pretty good sets on their Pokemon as well. Like all the sets I've seen so far. I guess the most interesting one that I've seen so far is the Lickitung. All the best are pretty competitive sort of Pokemon, right? So going to Salazzle, I thought I'd take them off guard with a Leech Life, and Leech Life absolutely annihilates the Sharpedo, and it's going to give me like full health again. However, instead of having a speed boost, they had Rough Skin instead, so that was pretty interesting. And Sharpedo's going to go down, so that's good. That's quite a scary Pokemon too. Like, good speed when it's got speed boost. In that case, I didn't, but it's got good attack as well and some decent coverage there. So the next Pokemon is Incineroar. I really have to take this Pokemon out. It's very, very difficult to get around. Now, at this stage, it's like, okay, it's going to drop my attack. Let's just go for Fire Lash. Let's drop its defense. I can possibly bring in one of my other Pokemon and take it out, right? Maybe my physical Inteleon, or I may be able to get a swap right. So Incineroar is going to go for a Scorching Sands. It's interesting. Very interesting. And Salazzle is going to go down. It's like, nice. It's a special Incineroar. Interesting. So I thought, all right, I've got Inteleon. This is definitely my best bet to go into. Are they going to swap or are they going to stay? And they did swap. So, like, okay, that's fine. And the Pokemon they're going to go into is Zeraora. I was like, oh no, this is bad. Like another very, very scary Pokemon here. I hope this is like, I don't know, Fury swipes Silk Scarf Zeraora. Now it's going to go for a Fake Out. Fake Out does so much damage to my Inteleon there. I was like, man, this is definitely not that. This is not a meme at all. This is a full sweaty Zeraora. Plasma Fist is definitely going to take out my Inteleon. Absolutely nothing I could do or nothing I could swap into there. So things are looking bad right now. I've only got 2 more Pokemon remaining. Can I get back into this game? It's also got Life Orb too, right? So we got Toxtricity here. So, okay. This actually isn't a bad swap-in. I could go for a Shift Gear here, and I might be able to get the G-Max going. So here comes the Plasma Fist here. Obviously, they didn't have a lot to hit me with, like, let's say, Close Combat, Plasma Fist. Something like, maybe Knockoff, that could have been the other move, but maybe they didn't have it, right? So it still does 2-hit KO, right? And they still get rid of my Air Balloon. So going for the Shift Gear here, this is going to allow me to outspeed Zeraora. Zeraora's got very, very high speed, and I need a little bit of an attack too, so I have to go for the Desperation G-Max here and try and take this out. Because look at the team, we've still got like Lickitung, Zeraora, Noivern, and Incineroar left. Like, it's bad at the moment, and I've only got 1 more Pokemon left after this as well, which is my Heloise, right? I mean, Heloise has got some decent speed, don't get me wrong, but if Zeraora's got a fighting type move, which I'm 1,000,000% sure it does, and Incineroar, it's not going to last that long, maybe. So going for the Max Knuckle here on the Zeraora, and that is nearly enough to take it out there, giving myself a +1 in attack. Now, I knew that I could leave another attack there, judging on how much damage Plasma Fist did to me before I G-Max. That's very, very nice there. And Zeraora is almost going to go down to the Life Orb, but I'm going to get another Max Knuckle. So this actually enabled me to get +3 in attack here, which is a lot of attack, right? And Zeraora is going to go down. So now I've gone into a bad situation, and I've flipped it around into a pretty powerful situation here, right, for the opponent. So obviously I knew that Incineroar would come in here straight away, get its little Intimidate off, and drop my attack. That's fine. I've still got +2 in attack, right? Now, Incineroar is going to be swapping out there, which is fine, and Noivern is going to be coming in. I guess they thought, well, out of the Pokemon I've got remaining left, Noivern is the most expendable, right? Let's go into that one. It was either going to be Noivern or Lickitung, right? So going for my G-Max Stun Shot, and the Noivern is going to be going down in 1 shot to that. Definitely wasn't going to be living that. Now, we've got 2 Pokemon left. The only thing is my opponent has not Dynamax. I'm thinking they're probably going to go for Dynamax Incineroar here as my, my Toxtricity G-Max wears off. Now, with the Lickitung, I can go for a Drain Punch. They know that I've got a physical move, and then they went for a Dynamax Lickitung. I was like, oh no. The only good thing about this, right, is I will get a silly amount of health back from Lickitung, right? The fact is, will I be able to take Lickitung out in 1 shot? That's going to be another question, right? Like, Lickitung's got a lot of health, right? I mean, it is poison, and it already actually taken, like, the third of its health already. So going for Drain Punch, it does absolutely nothing there. I'd say even if I had +3 in attack, like, let's say the Incineroar didn't come in at all, I don't think I still would have taken it out. Like, it still would have had a bit left. So it's going to take me out. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's got Zen Headbutt, and that is my Toxtricity down there. So all I've got left is my Heloise. So looking at Lickitung's health, I was like, okay, it's poison. I can definitely take that out with possibly like a Thunder, and then maybe a Hyper Voice to get my Throat Spray out, right? And get the dub against the Incineroar, right? That's the plan. So go for the Thunder, and it's going to miss. I'm like, no, that was such a big miss there. Now Lickitung is going to be able to go for a Max Knuckle. It does so much damage to me. Almost takes me out there in 1 shot. That was a very, very, very bad miss on the first Thunder. So Lickitung is going to take a bit of toxic damage there. Go for the second Thunder, and it doesn't go down. That, my friends, is the second battle there. I believe I probably would have got around that Lickitung. Definitely would have got around that Then I could have gone for a Hyper Voice to get the throat spray, and then I'd say I would have taken Incineroar out with Thunder if it didn't have Fake Out. Hope you enjoyed all 3 battles, people. I'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Peace out.